that real faith is faith in action. One of my favorite childhood memories is the time my parents drove my two brothers and I to the Herkimer diamond mines. As young kids, we were thrilled when we found tiny broken specks of diamond sparkling in the rock. Between the three of us, we must have collected close to 100 of those rocks. Eventually, we were satisfied that we had enough treasure and were ready to head home. My parents, however, had another idea. They persuaded us to keep digging and hammering and insisted that the extra effort would eventually pay off. Sure enough, they were right. Less than 20 minutes later, my brother cracked open a solid rock that cleared up the most beautiful, shimmering whole diamond. We were ecstatic, to say the least. After that, we ended up finding 4 more, just enough for each of us. All we had to do was dig a little deeper. Faith is like that. When I first found faith in God, I felt feelings of peace and love, and it was truly amazing. What I didn't realize until I became older was that just like the treasure, there was something even more special to be had once I dug a little deeper into my faith and put it into action. When I graduated from 8th grade at St. Amelia's School, I wanted to continue on to a Catholic high school. When I found out I wouldn't be able to do that, I told a religious family friend about how I was sad about the situation. He simply replied, "Maybe you were meant to be a witness for Jesus at a public school," which was just what I needed to hear. Once I started high school, I decided to follow his advice and began friendships with students who had sat alone at lunch to show them Jesus' love. One of those students was a girl who looked pretty depressed. She kept her head down, hair partly covering her face, and her shoulders hunched forward as if she was trying not to be seen. After realizing no one was going to sit with her, I walked over and invited her to come to my table. She ended up joining my friends and I, but barely spoke to anyone the first several days. Eventually, I learned that the girl, Olivia, suffered from anxiety and depression and was bullied for her looks and learning disabilities. She felt broken because so many people had told her that she is ugly, fat, and dumb, and that she should kill herself. I could tell from our conversations that Olivia really needed to feel that someone cared about her. So I started sharing Jesus' love with her by being a good friend. We talked every lunch and texted after school and on the weekends. She began to feel comfortable with me and really opened up after several weeks. After praying about Olivia night after night, one day I felt the opportunity was right and decided I would share my faith with her. Of course, fear started to creep in a little. I wondered, what if Olivia does not want to know God? What if she's a different religion? But then I remembered that God is always with me, and I took the plunge. I began talking about how Jesus could change her life and bring her the joy and love she is looking for. I shared my journey of faith with her and talked about the difference He has made in my life. I explained that God won't remove all of the problems. Rather, He will walk with her through them. From that day forward, we had regular conversations on topics concerning Christianity and about life in general. Then one day, last month, she unexpectedly told me that I had saved her life. Immediately, I questioned what she meant by that. She replied, "I was planning on committing suicide right up until I met you. I was seriously going to end my life and had been researching online the easiest way to die for several days before I met you." I was stunned. I had no idea she had been on the verge of suicide. Of course, I don't know if she would have actually ended her life had I not come along. What I do know, however, is that I was able to impact the life of someone who was in total despair, and it was very rewarding. Although Olivia may be different from me, she is the sweetest, kindest, and most non-judgmental person I have ever met. And she's funny, too. Putting forth the extra effort to get to know her was worth it, just like all those years ago at the diamond mine. By digging a little deeper, I found out that she too was a beautiful hidden diamond, and I am happy to have met her. Actually, so are my other friends. We all really like Olivia. I can't take most of the credit for helping her, though. I just listened to God, and He worked through me. What is most extraordinary, however, is that Olivia started listening to him too. All the talks we had about faith were actually making a difference in her life. Although her parents didn't go to Mass, she started watching it on TV and asked her grandma to take her to church on occasion too. Also, just a couple weeks ago, she told me, "Your friendship is a gift from God." How many friends ever get to hear that? I felt blessed. I learned from Olivia that faith is even more amazing when it is shared. The more I open up my heart to others and be a witness for Jesus, the more his love grows inside of me. I am so glad that I dug a little deeper. There are more Olivias out there in the world, and I just pray that I have many more opportunities to share Jesus' love.